Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Raise your hands if you created your social media accounts when you were still in school. Wow! Okay, at least it is good to know that we are on the same page. Well, what about me? I created my Instagram account when I was 11, which is in the year 2012. Before owning an Instagram account, I had my first Twitter account. Well, what about Facebook? I had my first Facebook account when I was around 9 years old. Well, for a 9-year-old girl, she used her Facebook account to connect with her friends. Of course, that girl felt that she was way advanced from all of her friends because at that moment, not all of her friends had that. Maybe some of you are wondering, how is it even legal to create a Facebook account at the age of 9? Well, I lied about my age and that is a price to pay for me to be more superior. Bad girl, huh? But little did I know that back then I had signed up to an ocean of uncertainty, to the world of the unknown. So fast forward to 1915, I was obsessed with Snapchat and Musical.ly. And by obsessed, I meant that I embraced a fully public approach on my Snapchat. Every hour, I would post stories on my Snapchat, whether it was interesting or unnecessary, I posted it. It skewed my perception of life. Life isn't digital, it is real. It is not sampled and packaged into pixels. The more we get addicted to the digital quagmire, the more detached we become from life. Reminiscing all these memories made me realize that I was not literate enough as a digital citizen back then. In today's era, this may seem like nothing because as we all know, so many young people under the age of 18 all have their social media accounts. In 2018, a survey by Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, or called as MCMC, found that 9 of 10 children aged 5 to 17 were using the internet. The use of smartphones for online activities amongst children was omnipresent, where 91.8% of them accessed the internet from the device. If you go on TikTok, Plado, or WeChat, or any other social media platforms, you can see how so many kids and teenagers are spending their times on such apps. Today, you will most likely feel left out if you do not share these interests. And not to forget the fear of missing out, or as called as FOMO, which is a very serious issue where everyone strives to be up to date with all the latest trends. Now, as I look back, I am not sure if it's just me feeling this way, but I bet it is not only me. If you created those accounts as early as I did, you might look back and think, is that even me? I mean, those cringe-worthy posts, videos, and even statuses honestly are quite embarrassing. But now, I might say that I am way wiser than I was back then, and of course, I learned about self-control. I learned to be digitally fluent and digitally literate. Jennifer Sparrow, a senior director of teaching and learning at Penn State University, has a good analogy that helped me understand the difference between digital literacy and digital fluency. So, how is fluency different from literacy? She stated, in learning a foreign language, a literate person can read, speak, and listen for understanding in the new language. A fluent person can create something in the language, a story, a poem, a play, or a conversation. Similarly, digital literacy is an understanding of how to use the tools. Digital fluency is the ability to create something new with the tools. Hence, these are the reasons why both literacy and fluency are important, as we are all digital citizens, aren't we? The main pillars of digital citizenship are educate, protect, and respect. If you are a good digital citizen, you will pause and think before retweeting news on social media. You will not share your account number publicly and ask for duit raya. You will not log into your online banking using a public Wi-Fi. You will make sure you use platform with end-to-end encryption. You will not jailbreak or root your phone. And most importantly, you will use the internet positively. These were all good points made by Aneesah Khadijah on being a good digital citizen during Youth Cyber Wellness 2020 on the 8th of June. Well, speaking of Aneesah Khadijah, she is my sister who also inspired me to dabble in the internet ecosystem. She started being active in internet governance when she was my age and is now working as a regional manager for Asia Pacific at a global organization called Internet Society. Her work in internet governance has allowed her to travel to a lot of countries, talk to different governments and internet stakeholders, developing skills and advocating about the internet all at a very young age. And Kakak, if you're listening to this, I would like to thank you for always being there for me as I explore this internet industry, for always inspiring me, and for always making me want to be better. I wish I can be half the amazing person you are and contribute to the community just like you do. A lot of people have been asking me, why and how did I get involved into this field? Nisa, you're a law student, but how did you get involved? Well, it's kind of funny to be honest because since we all use the internet, I feel like everyone should take part in internet governance. But to answer the question, it started about a year ago through my father. He is a professor in computer science. He loves IT. Because of him, I was inspired to join a plethora of internet-related programs and events, particularly those about embracing Industry 4.0. This sparked my interest in the field and later I found myself looking for more of these events and activities. I went to a Wikipedia Malaysia meetup, Malaysia's first 5G showcase in Putrajaya, Digital Outlook Series 2019, the Digital Economy Talk Series with Mai, and even joined and won a contest by CyberSecurity Malaysia and CyberSafe that promotes about the awareness of the internet. And from these events, activities, workshops, I found the term Internet Governance. Internet governance is defined as a development and application by internet stakeholders in their respective roles of shared principles, norms, rules, decision-making procedures, and programs that shape the evolution and use of the internet. They are called stakeholders. The internet stakeholders are the academia, private sector, technical community, civil society, and the government. If you are interested to know more about it, you can search for the book An Introduction to Internet Governance by Dr. Jovan Kurbalija. Now it is 7th edition. It provides a comprehensive overview of the main issues and actors in the field through a practical framework for analysis, discussion, and resolution of significant issues, and it is one of the most widely used books by internet governance professionals. It was then I realized that a lot of work goes into making sure that the internet is safe, secure, and a reliable infrastructure. And I want to be part of it. I want to see how the internet governance can increase my knowledge so I can share what I learn and apply it when it comes to using social media. However, I noticed that not only internet governance is an unfamiliar term in Malaysia, the participation of youth in internet governance and policies is very low. When the public doesn't seem to be familiar with the term, it does make sense why the participation of youth is low. Isn't it interesting how every day a lot of us go on social media? We go to TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat without knowing what goes behind these platforms. How is it regulated? Who sets the rules? What is multilateral governance? What is multi-stakeholder governance? These are all simple questions that we should have the answer to, that everyone should have the answer to. As a youth, I am inspired to address the various problems related to the internet that people as myself face. I believe that young people are still very underrepresented in important internet policy debates. This stems from the fact that most of us lack the requisite web literacy skills. The absence of digital literacy also contributes to other problems such as online sexual harassment or even cyber attacks. Through educating the youth on encryption, anonymity, internet protection, and online freedoms, youth will be more educated about how to remain an internet user while being protected and without becoming a victim to this heinous crime. So one of the biggest players of the internet is the Internet Society, or known as ISOC. ISOC is a global cause-driven organization governed by a diverse board of trustees that is dedicated to ensuring that the internet stays open and transparent with a vision the internet is for everyone. It has almost 70,000 global members with hundreds and hundreds of chapters around the world. Internet Society Malaysia Chapter being one of them. Well, speaking of internet protection, as I grew up, I became more mature, I became more aware, I slowly realized the dangers and concerns of privacy. I watched a movie called Searching. If you have never watched the movie, please consider watching it because the movie, it is utterly mind-blowing. It has a lot of good reviews and it is about a father who becomes desperate when his 16-year-old daughter Margot disappears and an immediate police investigation leads nowhere. He soon decides to search one place that no one else has, Margot's laptop. Hoping to trace her digital footprints, her father contacts her friends and looks at the photos and videos for any possible clues to her whereabouts. It portrays the same underlying theme where what the internet is capable of. It is a serious wake-up call and a cautionary tale for parents, teens, and internet users. In general, to be careful, aware, and protective of their digital footprints. The movie to me was a huge slap in the face. It managed to show me how ignorant I was when I was young, when I used to provide a lot of information to the world on social media accounts and share everything about my life. I had no idea about the issue of online trust and privacy, and I really wish I did. Internet privacy is so important and must be taken seriously by every internet users. We must know where all the data and information we share go. Let me ask you a question. When signing up for an online account or an app on your phone, how many of you actually read the terms and conditions before agreeing to it? Well, there was an article published last year on Forbes by John Kutzer, which says that viral app FaceApp now owns access to more than 150 million people's faces and names. People have been giving FaceApp the power to use their pictures and names. It is quoted by Rob Laguerre that to make FaceApp actually work, you have to give it permissions to access to all your photos, all of them. But it also gained access to Siri and search. So even when you are not using it, it is using you. In other words, you are actually submitting yourself to the app. Sometimes, trends can be exploitative and dangerous in nature. So let us all be mindful, always read the terms and conditions before joining the bandwagon. Privacy is crucial whenever you want to make an online purchase, is it a social networking site, play online games, or even attend forums. If a password is compromised and revealed, a victim's identity may be fraudulently used or stolen. This leads to hacking activities without a user's consent, and the risks are including farming, phishing, spyware, and even malware. But the bigger question is that, is privacy even guaranteed on the internet? Most teen social media users say that they aren't very concerned about the third-party access to the data. Since 2015, a whopping 18% of reported rape cases involve sex predators who started online. I strongly believe that these numbers can be reduced through digital literacy. As I mentioned before, the participation of youth in internet governance and policies is very low because people are not aware of it. My sister once told me that it is unfortunate that although our youth are transforming the online culture in so many ways and are the most dominant users of the internet, but when it comes to policy discussions, most of us are not at the table. She added that being part of the process is so important in order to achieve an internet that is open, transparent, inclusive, accessible, resilient, and trustworthy. How can we even imagine something sustainable without involving the future base of our everything? As such, I would like to reiterate the significance of youth as internet stakeholders. You, me, us, all of us. future leaders. How can anything meaningful ever take place if the future stakeholders of our world, the youth, aren't involved in it? Come on guys, without the internet, we wouldn't have PewDiePie, we wouldn't have memes, we wouldn't have the Renegade. I would also like to highlight how there are a lot of programs and activities. ICANN Next Gen, ISOC Youth Ambassadors Program, Youth IGF, Asia Pacific Regional IGF Fellowships, Netmission Academy, EPI Fellowship programs, and so many more. And the best part is that these programs favor the youth. This is the best time for us to explore new things, participate in regional and global events, challenge ourselves, gain experience, learn new skills, and see what we are passionate about. And I do feel like it is important to engage more youth in this field as it brings a lot of positive results. For example, the Malaysian Youth at Safer Internet Day, I got to witness a lot of youth beginning to address crucial internet topics and finding answers as how they can contribute in building their dream internet. These are some of the photos that were taken from the event. There was also a session on building resilience through better governance, legal frameworks and regulations. The panels discussed a number of internet issues concerning the youth such as cyberbullying, revenge porn, sexting, disinformation, etc. by proposing solutions to overcome these problems by observing the current legislation to identify what is working and what needs to be improved, as well as how youth can contribute to maintaining a good cyber hygiene through self-regulation and better internet governance. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope all of you here will give internet governance a chance because I cannot do this alone. If we care about the internet, we must work together to protect it. May we all bring home with us new inspiration and motivation to contribute to the internet and make our voices heard. The internet is ours, or so I call it, the Internet Governance Youth-niverse. We have a lot of work to do and it starts now. Thank you.